One of the worst kept secrets at the moment within the halls of Parliament has been the changes to rental properties. Now, the Act has not yet been passed. However, it's been socialised for so long now, it's almost become accepted. I've done previously a video around the interest-deductibility rules, but I thought I might take some time now to reflect on what a new build is considered and why a new build is important. A new build basically is anything that can be standalone, which has its own bathroom, its own kitchen, and is required to have a code of compliance. Now, a new build becomes very important because you get all the rules around interest-deductibility and the bright line test. So just to recap, I have a section which has an existing house on it. And I decide that I'm going to subdivide this off and build another house next to it. I've already owned this one, and assuming I've owned it before the 27th of March of this year, all the rules around ring fencing and interest-deductibility have previously been covered. This new property, however, has been built. It's got its own kitchen, bathroom, and code of compliance. It doesn't have to be built. It could have been a relocatable house. It could be one of those tiny houses. It doesn't have to be of any significant size. It just has to have these three components. Now, part of this comes back to the philosophy behind the idea that the government wants an increase in housing stock. You had one house, you now have two houses. Potentially, you don't even have to subdivide if you can build a house without needing to go through the subdivision process, but build another house or a second dwelling on it. Why is it important to know what a new build is? Well, if you have a new build, then the deductions against the rental income, which includes the interest deductibility, carries on at 100%. So we don't have the scaling down of interest deductibility that exists on the existing property. New properties also are not subject to the bright line test after 5 years. So if this was completed on the 1st of October 2021, then after the 1st of October 2026, if you sell it, it's not subject to the bright line test. But as it's a new build, it's also quite important because for 20 years, as announced yesterday, new builds carry on having these special characteristics of the 5-year bright line test and the interest deductibility rules. And that's intended to try and increase the stock of housing to enable people to buy their own property. However, if this property moves out of the net, i.e. becomes a private residence, and then back into the rental net, it will not be subject to these rules. These rules exist if a rental property is purchased, a new property is built, and rented, and that continues. The 20 years is of continuous involvement as a rental. If it stops, it now falls out of the net and will be treated in the same way as any new existing rental. So some good news for those people who are looking at rental properties. The new property market is one that you can give consideration to help offset some of those negativity or negative vibes that have been around rental properties over the last 6 months.